What is going on, guys? Nace here. Welcome back to another episode. Now today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people have been asking me from the time I started my YouTube back up a little over a year ago. So lately I've been getting this question more and more and more, but I want to answer this question for you guys. So today I'm going to talk to you about what I think is the best starter venomous snake. Now, the venomous snake that I believe is one of the best ones to start with, dude, you better not just tell them what venomous snakes to own. You better give them the whole breakdown. I mean, everything. Mentors, all of that. Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell them all that. Would you relax? I want to hear about the mentors, the handling, all of it. Every single part of it, I want to hear you talk about in this video. It's got to be awesome, because people have been waiting for this video. Okay, so he is right. So before we talk about what I think is the best venomous snake, because there's a long process that you need to go through before actually owning one. So a lot of people think that because they own ball pythons or red-tailed boas or any other non-venomous snake for a very long time, that you can maybe start with venomous. It's not true. So, and I get asked this question a lot too, if I would teach people how to handle venomous. I don't personally do that. But if you want to learn venomous, if you want to try your hand at it, the best way to do something like that is to find a mentor. And I've always told people to not only just find a mentor, but before you start with that mentor and ask them, if you can by chance be an apprentice to them, you need to research this person. You need to make sure that they're a good handler, that they're good at husbandry, that they're good at, that they have healthy snakes, because a lot of places might keep venomous, but they might not be the best handler, or their snakes might be all sick or dying or in the worst condition possible. Trust me, I could name a few off the top of my head. I'm not going to, but I could, because those people are out there. There is a lot of really crappy venomous keepers that shouldn't be keeping venomous at all. But they still are, because they can, unfortunately. So it's always really, really important that you research who you're going to mentor under, because that is a very big, important factor. But also on top of that, when you're mentoring, you got to focus on one particular species of snake. Now here in Florida, you need to have 1,000 hours with each individual family. So that's 4 families, you have to have 1,000 hours for each family. So when I started with Viperidae, hence why I have a lot more vipers than I do Elapidae, which are the cobras. So I started with Viperidae, so that's something if you guys want to, and the snake that I'm going to suggest you start with once you have your time in with venomous snakes is a Viperidae, only because they're a lot easier to house, a lot easier to handle than Elapids are. Actually, they're usually easier to take care of as well. So, with that being said, make sure you find a mentor. Do your research, study this person, make sure they are right for you and you are right for them, because that is a very important step in learning venomous snakes. Now, I mentioned Florida as in we have, many different hours for different species of snakes, or family of snakes, excuse me. Every single state in the country is different. Now, if you live outside of the country, make sure you research your rules and laws there. Like I know in Europe you can have venomous snakes too, and in some places in the UK you can have them. So every state, you usually have to contact your local fish and game for that state and find out what the rules are. Some states you can't have venomous snakes in at all. I know Georgia you can only keep native venomous snakes. So that kind of sucks unless you like native venomous snakes. I personally do, but I also like exotics. So every single state is different. Make sure before you actually research for a mentor, make sure you can keep venomous snakes in your state, because that's also very important. So back to the snake part. So why I'm actually talking about these snakes too, I'm going to be cleaning 3 of their cages because they are a little dirty and they need to be cleaned. So the snakes that I think are the best to start with after you found out all your information that you need to find out first. Again, very important. I cannot stress that enough. I particularly would start with squams. Now, the reason why I would start with squams is because, well, one, they come in many different colors. Two, every single year, they are all over the market. They're not even a very expensive snake. Normal squams, green squams, they'll run you anywhere from $200 to $300 depending on the seller. Come here. You stay right there. Did you go under the? You did go under the thing. Okay. So, but yeah, they're relatively cheaper venomous snakes. They come in many different colors. They stay small. They're beautiful, beautiful tree vipers. So, they, I believe, are very good starter snakes. These guys stay relatively small. So this one that is in front of me here is a full-grown female. They don't get bigger than that. The females definitely get bigger than the males. So you don't have to worry about a very big snake as your first snake. Now, again, they come in so many different colors that is reason why they're called varial bush vipers. Let me see if I can pick her up here. Now, they are a relatively aggressive snake, but again, small snake hook, not a very large snake, they stay small. So you don't have to worry about feeding them too many big rats or anything like that, because these guys eat a rat pinky at this size every 2 weeks. That's it. That's all they need to eat. So it's not even all that much. Less than a ball python, actually. So let's see. I'm going to put her back. We're going to grab the next one. The next one is a different color. So this is my yellow male, who is soon to be a daddy because he bred with the red female. You just made a mess everywhere. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I'm keeping them in here, but if you have watched my previous videos, oh, you're just so aggressive, aren't you? If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I am currently working on a new project for all my arboreal vipers. They are getting all new extreme home makeovers right now. So because they are also a smaller snake, that means they require a smaller cage as well. So this one here, let me get this set up for him. So this one here is a male. And like I said, these guys are a little bit smaller than the females. So that is about a full-grown male right there. For thickness, almost half as thick as the female. For length, they're relatively about the same. Maybe the female's an inch or two longer than the males. So why are you focusing on me? You gotta face the camera. Face the camera without falling. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, so this is a male, yellow squam. So these guys come in so many different colors. I have 4 colors, which are red, yellow, purple, and green. If you have been a subscribed person to my channel for a very long time, I do appreciate it. But the green one on my channel that you see quite often, which you're not going to see tonight, he was produced by my sister a couple years ago, and he's been in my care ever since. But yeah, every year, these guys either come in from wild caught or imports, I should say, and they flood the market. Every single year it happens. So many different importers do sell these guys. This one here is the purple one. Kind of hanging out here on the piece of wood. So yeah, so this purple one came from my buddy Jeremy, who's also the same guy that I got the albino cobras from, along with the yellow one. This is also a male. So there's very rarely you occasionally can find black squams too. They're a little bit more money. There are some colors that do cost a little bit more money because they're more rare than others. Recently this year there was a all-white squam that was produced, or it came in. I'm not sure if it was captive or not, but it was a really cool looking snake. So I personally think they're the best because they don't get big, they come in many different colors, they're relatively cheap, they come around every year, and it is a good snake to start with for those reasons. They are cheap to feed as well, so these are a lot of different reasons why these snakes are great starting venomous snakes. So once these guys' cages do get done, I'm going to be separating them out because I have 1 female and 3 males. I'm going to be getting 2 more females for the other 2 males that I do have, so this way I do have 3 pairs of these guys. Now, also for handling, which for them is relatively easy. Most arboreal species are really easy to take care of for handling because you get a small hook, doesn't need to really be a big hook, which are a lot cheaper than the big hooks too. But they usually like to just hang on to something. So once they do get on a hook, they usually kind of just stay there. They are a little difficult to get off sometimes, but if you have a nice big cage for them, or even a small cage with lots of stuff in it, you can very easily just set them on something to get them off your hook. It's not really all that difficult. So I believe that the Atheris squamigera, also known as squams, are a great starting venomous snake, just for those reasons right there. But again, remember, do your research, learn about the venomous snakes before you actually start getting them or handling them, because you never know, in your state you might need a permit. You know, you might not even be able to have the snakes in general. So do your research, find out about them before you go ahead and jump into owning them. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, hopefully you did learn something, and hopefully I answered a lot of questions that people were asking, because honestly, every single video I do, somebody asks me that particular question. So, subscribe if you aren't already. If you haven't subscribed and you've thought about subscribing, you should definitely subscribe, because I'm almost to 80,000, well not quite, almost to 75,000 subscribers, which is really awesome. Never thought I would be this far, so big thank you to all of you guys that do watch my videos. Greatly do appreciate it. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and thank you to my Patreons, because you guys are also awesome. Stay tuned, Patreons, because we'll be doing a live stream later this week. Really happy and excited about it. Hopefully Summer will remember to post it when I tell her to. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. Why are you giving me that look? But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like always, bye!